Hey there, Fearless Gamers, and welcome to the Fearless Games Podcast. I'm the Stark Lord, and today I am with...
James the Wildcard.
And Matt the Vet.
Okay, guys, how's everything going?
It took us 30 seconds, just so you know, Fearless Gamers, to get that right.
Yeah, that was mostly my fault.
Not as easy as it sounds, Fearless Gamers.
Yeah, we tried to plan it for once, and that was a bad idea. I apologize.
Yes.
We should never plan again.
Never.
Exactly.
Okay. Oh, someone just got a message. That was on my end. So, how's everybody doing?
Alright.
Okie dokie.
Well, I actually got to see a movie this week.
Nice. New movie or old movie?
New movie.
Good. I saw an old movie.
I saw the new Evil Dead movie.
Was it Evil and Dead?
It was awesome. I mean, if you are a huge fan of the original series, then this is a must-see.
But my only question, to not ruin any of it horribly, is Bruce Campbell in it somewhere?
He is not.
I don't want to...
But what they do establish, without giving anything away, is that the other movies happened.
Okay.
They literally, it's quite literally, it's not one of these big spoiler things or anything like that, but they go, basically, the story is a group of friends have a friend who's addicted to crack.
Of course.
And so they go to her and her brother's old family summer cabin to try and get her to go cold turkey.
That's a terrible idea.
For the night. This was apparently one thing that she said, I want to do this type of thing.
Uh-huh.
Well, in the back of when the brother meets the sister for the first time, she's sitting on the Oldsmobile.
Okay.
And then they basically go through the classic, the evil horror is released and, crazy things happen and they must get through the night type of thing. What I liked about it was there's, I want to say, one moment that is tributing, and I have to emphasize tributing, not ripping off scenes from the other three films. Where it's one of these things where it's reminiscent, but not to the point where they're trying to rehash it.
Mm-hmm.
And what?
It's just like a tilt of the hat.
Yeah, like a tip of the hat to it. Yeah. And what's also really nice about it is there's only 3 jump scares in the entire film.
That's good. Jump scares are a little overrated.
What I liked about it is they did it more with sound and music and build up and build up and build up. Then the camera just cuts to what they're seeing. So it's not. There's only 3 times where they try to really jump at you, but through the whole film, it's so good. It's definitely worth watching. And it is one of those films where there is something at the end of the credits, so you have to sit through the whole thing.
Good. Every film should have something at the end of the credits.
No, not every.
Yes. Okay, I'm kidding.
But I've heard split feelings from Evil Dead fans about the new movie. And I forgot that was even happened. All of a sudden I saw it on to go see type thing. I'm like, what?
One of the things is there is no comedy really in it. It's all about the horror, but the horror is done with a very Sam Raimi feel to it, so it doesn't feel like it's mocking, it doesn't feel like it's making fun of, it doesn't feel like it's insulting, it feels like it's trying really hard to keep the same type of motif, and they do it successfully. There is 2 over-the-top moments that I just couldn't help but laugh at, and one really funny line. But other than that, it was a very serious movie, very much like the first one.
Right, which is what I heard it was going for. That's cool. That's cool. And those gamers, yet another reason not to do crack. Don't do crack.
Yeah. Evil zombie horrors of demons come out.
Let's call them by their correct name. They're called Deadites.
You're right, Deadites. I'm sorry. No, I didn't mean to be insulting to the Deadite community.
Yes, Deadites are people too.
Just dead people.
Yes. And so we got Iron Man 3 coming up soon.
That's going to be cool.
Yep. Are we all excited for that?
Yeah, decently.
Yeah. So, are you guys going to join me that Saturday to go see it?
I think maybe yes.
Or that Friday night, if there's a really late showing?
More likely, though I probably won't be awake.
So, James, how about you? Will you be joining us?
I'm in 2 states away.
Your point being?
I won't make it.
We'll meet you in New Jersey. It'll work out.
Nobody wants. And I'm not going to continue that state. But, but you know what else looks pretty cool that's out now? Oblivion.
Oblivion? I don't really want to go see that.
Like,
it looks interesting, though. I'm going to see it on DVD. I already know I don't have to catch it.
Yeah, I'm not... sorry.
I don't know if I'll see it in the theaters or not, but it just looks like a movie. I'm like, you know what? It feels almost like just like a refreshing thing. Like, here's something that's just nobody, out of nowhere type of deal. And it's just kind of cool. I mean, it's just something
looks a little... I'll have to say it looks a little bit different from the usual Tom Cruise shtick.
The problem I think I had with it is the initial trailers were a little like, it's a normal Tom Cruise thing. And then when they started actually giving a little bit more storyline, like, this looks like it should be a good movie. Also, Morgan Freeman in anything is worth watching.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, it does look like it should be decent. And Tom Cruise movies are usually good. Not saying they're not. I mean, they are.
Also, one thing I guess we'll just talk about little briefly. This last week, been kind of crazy. For all of you fearless gamers out there who live in the Boston, Massachusetts area, we hope you're all right, and we hope that your family and friends were safe throughout the whole turmoil that happened this past week.
Yeah, and any fearless gamers down in Texas, we hope you're doing well as well.
Yep.
Yeah.
For those, I was reading up, do you guys know how big the explosion there was?
And where, Texas?
Texas.
It blows up big.
Yeah, I was like, I don't know, but I know what's in that stuff, so...
This is what the initial explosion caused a tremor equivalent to a 2.1 earthquake. Every house within, a mile radius was destroyed. All the glass in buildings about 5 miles out was shattered. And buildings, I think, 10 and past miles, the glass on their windows were vibrating. The shockwave traveled a total, I think, of 25 miles.
Yeah, it's a heck of an explosion when fertilizer. The fertilizer is very explosive, for those of you that didn't realize that until now.
The whole process of making basically nitrogen fixing to make fertilizer was originally developed to blow things up, if you didn't know.
Yep.
Thank you, Dr. Haber, I think it was. The monster that he was did make fertilizer on the side.
From what I've read, I don't know how true it is, but I heard that this was fairly close to the equivalent of a nuclear blast in terms of the power that it had.
I doubt that.
As far as the raw power of the epicenter of that explosion, if you've seen the videos of it, it was not just like a pocket, like the entire explosive content went up at once in this huge plant.
Gotcha.
Yeah, people were saying that it was fairly close to if a nuke went off in terms of the explosion and the blast radius and the shockwave. It wasn't just like a small little area went up, like the entire plant went up. It was a huge plant. And so we do hope that, that everybody is okay, and our thoughts and prayers go out to everybody affected by it.
Yes.
And I don't know about you, but during the whole Boston thing on Friday, that was probably the most I ever watched CNN at any one time.
Wow.
It's sad, but, I was very intrigued. I wanted to know what happened, and I was very glad that they caught him alive.
Yeah. Well, fortunately, Whoa! Sorry, I'm watching a video of that explosion. I just saw it happen.
Yeah.
That was big. Anyways, fortunately, the second suspect tried to shoot himself and did it wrong.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
You know what was
I don't really want to explain how you properly shoot yourself in the head because I don't want anyone doing it, but there's the wrong way to do it, which he did, which is the way most people try to do it, and you usually survive that.
which is interesting is he was so they literally missed him by a street.
Yeah, it was
he was hiding in the block just outside of the search grid, and it wasn't until the one dude came out of his house, he saw the blood in his shed, he went in,
he saw his boat tarp was messed up, walked over, like, there's a lot of blood on this, that ain't right.
Well, according to the news, the statement made by the police right after the capture, He said that he noticed his shed door was open and there was blood there. When he went to investigate, he saw bloody clothes in his shed. He then noticed
I don't remember
his
the
boat
shed
tarp.
thing.
Yeah, that's what I remember. That's because what he...
Your
that's
CNN
what
report
said.
is different from the NBC report. Grr.
Yeah. And then this was...
I know, I'm kidding.
He walked over to the boat because he saw the tarp.
Yeah.
And supposedly he lifted it up and saw him.
Yeah.
And then he bolted back into the house and called the cops. The cops went to investigate. The kid popped up, and that's when the gunfire happened, because he popped up because he heard the cops coming.
Mm-hmm.
But we're glad that it's over. I'm very happy that it only took 5 days to happen.
Yeah, fortunately, I mean, if this happened like 5-10 years ago, they would not have found him so easily. It was the wonders of, having cameras everywhere.
And I still love how the aunt and the mother are convinced that the photos are doctored.
Well, you kind of, if you're on their side, you want to say that too. You don't want to say that you're...
The uncle's the only one who's, basically not in denial about this.
But I understand their denial.
One
Let's
family
not talk
member
about...
yep, I knew it the whole time.
No, he was just they came out, what do you think? He's like, well, they're losers. I mean, do the right thing. Turn yourself in. And the aunt was sitting there going, this is suspicious. They're not walking side by side like brothers, so clearly the photos were doctored because they would have been walking side by side in real life.
Not if they're using proper military strategy.
Or just not being, dumb and trying to split up, which is a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways,
there's always one family member that's kind of like, yep. There's always that one guy in your family that'll always turn you in no matter what. Feel like gamer, so be careful.
Yep. You always have that one uncle or brother or cousin who's like, I don't like you, and I know you're a bad person. Well, they may or may not be.
Well, let's correct it. There's the one person who is not going
to be on your side always.
Well, is not can expect you to do the things that they say you did.
Right.
Yeah,
that's I guess the better thing is this uncle was, when he heard it, it was something he's like, well, I could honestly see them doing it, so they most likely did.
Not the best thing to say, Uncle. Just gonna say it.
But still, he's the only one not getting trashed by the media right now.
True.
The media is the media, and
yes, Yes, but
in other news, though, which isn't
in other news. There's
at all. I actually went to a local gaming store here.
Woo.
Gas.
How'd that go?
Yeah. You found one? Where was it? What's it called?
Westchester, Pennsylvania, at a place called the Games Keep LLC. Give it its full name, I believe. It's interesting place. It's not open Monday or Tuesdays, which I thought odd. They had 2 days that they were closed, but
yeah,
they're open.
They got a Facebook
from
page.
Noon to 10. They do. It's not really used at all.
Yeah, I'm seeing that.
Well, James, you got to get on that and make it popular.
Well, it's not a war gaming store. It's just a game store, in general.
Okay.
There's no war gaming tables. If any serious gamers are in that area, so at least I could find. There's no terrain or anything. It's really more of a card game place, which is totally cool. They have a lot of board games, lot, things I've never seen before, and I've been around the block. They also have some RPG stuff like Pathfinder and of course Magic and other card games. But there's a lot. There's a whole back room that they have open for the employees to go in, full of board games as well. There's a lot of board gaming stuff there. So it's pretty cool. I mean, it's what's cool about this is they don't have a very big selection of the only winning war gaming stuff they have is GW, and they don't have a big selection.
Yeah.
At all of Games Workshop products, but what they have is at a discounted price.
That's nice.
Always nice.
Because they're not like a prime. They must get it from somebody else. So
you gotta. I'll send you a list of stuff you could get it for me.
I don't know if they do custom orders. I didn't bother asking. I went in there and I got a bunch of paint though. They have a full stock of the Citadel paint.
Nice.
And which is cool. And they also have mini wargaming magnets.
Nice.
Which I saw. I'm like, this is a mini wargaming symbol. What? And
mini wargaming is still producing magnets and dark potential stuff.
Oh, I know they are. I just didn't expect to see it in
a retail.
Grasshopper has it actually too.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
but you see, but this place isn't a big wargaming place, so I was surprised to see.
Yeah.
But
I can
they have
understand
that.
your shock and amazement.
They have that, and it's a nice, like, quiet little place to go in. There's always card gamers there doing the card gaming thing. So that's pretty cool. There's another place that I found, and how I found this is through GW as a store locator, and you type in your address, and you can get to a certain radius of miles, and it'll tell you independent retailers, Games Workshop stores, and I think like clubs as well that are registered.
Okay.
To be listed. So that's how I found the Games Keep. There's another one a little bit closer, I think, I'm going to probably check out later on. But the Games Keep had a lot of good reviews on what I've seen on Google+. So I went there, and it's a nice place. The staff is friendly. It's not, like, crowded. It's not annoying. It's just you go in, you find your stuff, you pay for it, and you leave.
Nice.
Speaking of going off, we've got some rumors coming out.
No more rumors.
Supposedly. Again, these are just rumors. They're not facts. They're fiction. But we've got some new Eldar rumors. One of them is saying now we'll be seeing them in June.
Yeah, which would be.
And if that's true, I will be so happy because I love the Eldar.
Little
Eldar
too
are cool.
much.
The Eldar are cool. I enjoy them. I would love to see an updated codex. My only not concern with the Eldar codex is just, if you notice, there's just the supposed rumors of the past of the release schedule. Just not even so much the books, but how many are coming out this year alone. I feel like it's really quick.
A lot of people have been feeling that.
I think it's a good thing.
Personally, I have not seen yet in any, with the Tau Codex. The Tau Codex, the quality of what you got has not seemed to be deviating from what we got in the Chaos and the Dark Angels, so I'm thinking that it's a good thing right now as long as the quality stays good.
Oh, it's a good. For me, it's a double-edged sword. I feel it's a good thing because that means people who play a certain army can expect to not have to wait 17 years to get a codex.
Yep, like the Sisters of Battle, or the Black Templar, or the Tyranids.
Sisters of Battle get a new codex? That's funny.
There's rumor that they're getting one.
No, that's the only rumor I won't even give any account to.
Remember, the Blood Angels were in the same boat as the Sisters of Battle.
I know. I'm just I'm saying it's not going to happen anytime soon. They're going to be the last one they update if they update them at all.
We'll see.
Now
you know.
This release schedule, it'll be quicker than in the past.
That's true. Since they're getting like one out every 2 months, 2-3 months.
3 months, 4 months.
And they really, which is a good thing. It's about time they really update all their games, frankly.
And you know what, Starklord? Because you said that, a GW exec who's listening in, who's a huge fan of us, is going to say, well, now I got to prove them wrong, and they're going to switch out the Eldar with the Sisters of Battle, and you just ruined my chances of getting a new codex. Thank you.
If that happens, I will be so happy.
That'd be hilarious.
I will have to hurt you.
You can try.
It's a good thing that they're coming out so quick, but at the same time, I feel like we don't get enough time to just fully, immerse ourselves and just get acquainted with
there's no enjoyment factor.
To be honest, now I could be totally wrong, but what I think that the thought process was let's just go it's obvious that the tactic originally seems to be is get everybody interested in every army so they all spend $200 roughly on each army as they come out. That's the goal when they do an army release. GW most likely probably may have started noticing that the trick isn't working and is going, well, let's get these armies out so the people interested are still interested by the time they come out.
Oh yeah, I see no fault with the idea. It's just it's almost like you don't even have a chance to look forward because it's already hey, predict this. It's like, oh, I like if they just knocked it down one book instead of doing, let's say, 5 a year or 4 a year. I don't know what the exact numbers are. I'm making them up. I think maybe it's a bit better for everybody just to have the proper time to not only learn a new codex as players, but learn how to deal with it as playing against it before something else comes out.
I think the other reasoning behind that could be is they don't want you to develop a tactic with an old codex and be so used to it and have it and risk it being changed with the new codex's release.
Oh yeah, but at the same time, we all know the pecking order of certain armies, that people who are going to be the last army to come out still are going to make tactics. So they still have to make it tactics. But, there hasn't been any diminishing in quality, although the Tau did get an errata like 2 or 3 days after release.
With like 2 things on it.
Yeah, but which is like a new record for GW, which people say, oh no, is a bad thing. I think that's great. It's great. They're like, oh wait, let's fix it now and not wait like they did with the Dark Angels quarters when the Space Marine quarters came out. And back in the day.
No, frankly, you should have an immediate clarification as soon as something comes out. People go, like within the first 2 weeks, you should have a backup.
It's what's also interesting is the fact that there's only 2 shows that they're upping their game in trying to find these mistakes.
Yeah, but I think, I agree. I think it's great that it came out so quick. And, it's just, I wish they did that back when the Dark Angels had their previous codex, and we're like, hey, so did we get the same war gear? I don't know. We mulled it over for a year and a half. It's like,
yeah.
But I have one question for you guys, though.
Yes?
No.
Cadre Fireblade thing is a multi-part plastic model for that one little infantry dude, but the commander's fine casting is huge. What?
Wait, really?
Put that.
Yeah.
Hold on. I never actually paid attention. I'm like, I'm going to get these models eventually, but I didn't look.
The fine cast crisis suit commander is like 1 piece, and then the special character for the Fire Wars is like in 20 pieces.
Let me see.
Well, there's multiple pieces to the commander. There's different.
He has all his arm bits.
Yeah, but it's just like he's fine cast. And he's big. He's fine cast. But the Fireblade Cadre guy, who's a little infantry dude, is a multi-part plastic kit. It's like, you should have probably flipped that and made him the fine cast and made the big dude plastic.
Yeah.
Nah, that's crazy talk, James.
Going off of these whole things, we have had rumor and a confirmed picture of a plastic Farseer, which I am shocked it has as few options on him as he does.
Well, again, it's just the early bit.
Yeah.
I don't know how true it is. Did you see, though, that someone was nice enough, I mentioned this before, someone photoshopped all the bits together to give you an image of it?
Of what it would possibly look like, which was cool.
And
I appreciated that. That's some dedication.
Have you noticed, aside from the sculpted bases that are coming up for models now, the Fireblade, and I'm sure this Farseer model that comes out, are more made in different bits, like the snap fit model. So not snap fit, but the way they go together is more like a snap fit model for less seam lines and whatnot.
Yeah, it's less seam lines, but also at the same time, it's kind of running the whole, like, on this Farseer I had noticed, the only thing really positionable is his head. And maybe the spear.
A big step up from the 0 positionability you got of, like, the current pewter ones.
When you think
the pewter ones still have the same head issue. You can turn the head any way you want, but the way their body's posed, it's kind of like they look stupid if you don't put their head in this one particular direction.
But what we have here is you have a semi-snap fit style thing, so you have less mold lines, so it looks as good as a good lead cast, but it's plastic, so you can convert the crap out of it without much effort.
Yeah.
That's probably what they're going
for.
Which
is nice. But it's just, I've noticed that they're adopting the technology, that, for lack of a better word, that they put into the Dark Vengeance pieces, which is snap fit, but the way that you snap them is very cool. And these aren't snap fit per se, but the way they go together is very reminiscent of current snap fit, which gives you a very nice tight fit of the pieces. And you still have some posability with the Fireblade and with his arm and stuff like that in the head, which is interesting.
By the way, do you know how many components are in that big fine cast commander?
How many?
22. And then the Fireblade's 9.
Right. It just seems like,
they
for me, they should have swapped that.
Yeah.
So now, also going off of with the Eldar Rumors going off right now, there's a path system has been revamped. Artox, or however you want to pronounce it, take paths that are now fixed in point cost. Before they became more expensive the more you took because of all the different war gear you had to buy and all that.
Yeah, and you got.
But they do not make their aspect troops. Instead, it allows corresponding aspects to be taken as compulsory troops. Ergo, the path of the Striking Scorpion would allow you to take up to 2 Striking Scorpions as troops. If you also took the path of the Swooping Hawk, you could take up to 2 Swooping Hawks as troops, or 1 of each. 1 Striking Scorpion, 1 Swooping Hawk.
Oh, I get what you're saying. You could do up to 2, whatever your autarch is, you can get 2 of his things as troop choices.
Yes.
That's cool. If that's true, that's cool.
Then there's Guardians, will be a lot cheaper and have more options for special weapons. A new transport for Dire Avengers / weapon platform with no transport capacity, and lots of new goodies. If Tau are the long-range shooting army, Eldar are a mix with potential units in short, mid, and long range.
Which is
long
kind of how they are now, if you think about it.
They're supposed to be... Yeah.
They're supposed to be the everyman.
Well, they're the rainbow. They can do everything, basically. You specialize.
Long range.
You can find these rumors for this game on Double Assault.
Yep.
Yeah, Bells usually gets it from Fate 212, which is a
who's
great
usually
site.
pretty correct.
I love
a lot
that
of the
site.
time.
Go to that site more often.
He's long range comes mostly exclusively from heavy support, which is nothing surprising. However, so you need to create a mix, it seems. Aspects are all still hyper-focused and saw a very small decrease in points except for fire dragons. Also, there's another thing that is not Eldar related. A GW Army Builder app is being in the works now.
Which is cool because they did have, back in the day, a program you could buy CD style that you were making in the army, and then that never got any support after, 5th edition came out. So, they're finally coming back to the idea of having it.
One thing that I have
idea to move into the technology base because people like that stuff.
Yeah, as long as they don't have as long as it's as properly tested and does everything that it promises to on release.
Unlike the one they did for Privateer Press. That was a little bit of a letdown. I don't know if they fixed that because I haven't kept up with it.
I played a little bit with it and it's
Yeah.
I find that removing damage is a lot harder than putting damage on.
They need to have an app more like the Munchkin app, which apparently they have. I found that out last night.
Yes, I have heard of that. One thing I do hope that the Eldar that they do play around with is the psychic power thing of them, since the whole race basically it's a race of psychers.
They will get no psychic powers, Biz. I'm going to tell you that right now.
What?
They will have no psychic powers, just to make you feel bad.
Knowing me, they're going to be like, the Eldar, because of Slaanesh creation, renounced all forms of psychic. Farseers are actually not doing psychic powers, but have magical technology. Think the Mandarin, but without rings.
Well, he has alien technology. It's not really magic, but it is. But it isn't. Anyways,
they probably get their own psychic table, hopefully.
They should get their own psychic table, yeah.
And then still be able to pick from the ones they can pick now. The ones they can go to pick from now are perfect. They shouldn't add anything else, but they should have their own specific Eldar abilities.
Yeah, they should have if anything, a Farsphere path and a Warlock path. The Warlocks can take from the Warlock path and whatever regular ones, and the Farspheres can take the Farsphere, the Warlock, and any of the irregular ones, is how I would like it to see it.
That would be nice. Good. Now, if they're going to, put this kind of heavy emphasis on the autarch, for being able to do this stuff with the aspects, they are really going to have to step up their game with an autarch kit. I want the kit to be the Space Marine Commander kit.
Yes.
Or the Chaos Terminator kit, Lord.
Yes.
Chaos Lord kit for Terminators. They need something for the autarch, because if I start putting bits on it and make him Dire Avenger, well, you wouldn't have to, but if you wanted to. But if you want to make him Warp Spidery or, Dark Reaper, there's no way to do that.
Yep, that's what I was about to say. They better come out with an autarch commander kit, because it is next to impossible to find a model that has all the gear on him that you gave him, and the ones that you may find is usually just the one with the Howling Banshee head and the Swooping Hawk wings. And for one, I don't want that on my dude.
Yeah.
Well, it comes down to, personally, one of GW's best kits is that Space Marine Commander kit, and it befuddles me that they haven't made an HQ kit for every other race that's at least close to that.
That Space Marine Commander kit is great. The other kit that's really good in that regard, not quite as good, is the Chaos Terminator Lord kit. The Chaos Terminator Lord or Sorcerer. It has enough different bits so you can really equip it however you want. The Space Marine Commander kit, the only thing that it lacks is when you're making a Terminator, but the Terminator kits fill in that role in spades, so not really a big deal. I have no reason to understand why they haven't done it for anything else. For example, this Tau Commander thing, Shriven Plastic, and I'm sure it has plenty of bit opportunities, but probably doesn't have everything you need. Like, I doubt it has a shield generator in it.
Yeah. We'll find out one of us eventually buys one.
Yeah. But, and especially for, Imperial Guard has a Command Squad box, which is pretty good.
That thing's really great. I've used them for a lot of bits, and the bits spread around nicely from that box.
Yeah, but, the Orcs have nothing for their HQ, really, as far as, a kit goes.
Yeah,
that's true.
The Eldar have, I'm sure they're fine. I don't know if they're still pewter or if they're fine cast, but the Autarch has, 2 different models you can buy, and that's it.
And the the thing with the Autarch right now is they are in fine cast, at least a good chunk of them. The 2 popular ones, which is, actually I think it's just the winged one. The issue with it is they only have 4, and they each have a different combination, and you have to pray it's the combination that you want.
Yeah, otherwise you have to do heavy cutting when you're converting.
Yep. And since they're pewter, and only one of them's fine cast, it's even harder to get them to configure the way that you want.
Yeah.
Unless you get a bunch of Guardian bits, because the Guardian model is pretty much the same thing, just different looking helmets.
Yeah, they have 2 Autarch in fine cast.
Yeah, but they're not usually outfitted the way you would want to.
Yeah, one's like Striking Scorpion, Fire Dragon, the other one's Swooping Hawk, Banshee. Yeah,
the one is the Striking Scorpion with the Warp Generator pack and the Fusion Gun, and the other one is the Howling Banshee with the Swooping Hawk wings.
The big thing that Eldar need is just, they need more plastic, because 90%, I don't want to say 90%, but most of their army is fine cast right now, and there really should be plastic Striking Scorpions, plastic plastic. There's no reason not to be.
Plastic Striking Scorpions would be awesome.
Yeah, but no, I'm curious about this. I wonder if this whole Autarch thing is the way it is now, and also the rumors that we're hearing are the way they are, because I'm wondering how many people actually play with an Autarch. Now I know I've seen 95% of all the armies I've seen online in person is Farseer led with Warlocks. Yep. I think I've seen maybe 2 different armies that actually ran Autarchs, and one of them was really heavily converted, and the other one was just whatever one it was. And those armies didn't really do that well.
Yeah, well, the problem with the Autarch is he's just a force commander with no buffs to anything,
Yeah.
He's just a dude with a cool stat line and good weapons, which isn't really that effective as commander in 40k. 40k, you want to at least either be really, really almost unbelievably scary, or be a really good support for the army on some level.
They had the Autarch force commander, battle leader, they had Farseer with them. It wasn't so psychic heavy with Warlocks everywhere and 2 Farseers. It's just, I wonder how popular the Autarch is with players now versus what GW is trying to have happen. And I think personally, part of the fact that maybe people don't want to go through the hassle if they want to be Boozy Week. Because, I don't want to have to buy 5 different kits and hack it to pieces to make the Autarch I want.
Yeah.
So a nice plastic Autarch kit would help its popularity at least a little bit.
That and the rules to make that compulsory thing, if that's true, would help a lot too. Because then you have a reason to take them. It's I'm getting more of what I want. I want 5 squads of Swooping Hawks in an 1850 game. I can have them now.
Well, I'd say the biggest issue with the Autarch is, like you said, he really doesn't offer anything except just a unique dude to put into one of your aspect squads with an invuln save.
And if you look at a lot of players, they don't tend to take, you do sometimes, but bigger army lists tend to take someone that has either global effects or enhances the army in some way.
There's one thing though, there is one popular Autarch that's taken a lot, and it's Yuri.
Yeah, but he's a special character.
Special characters don't exist anymore. And
he's a special character.
but when they got rid of the special character rule. So
it doesn't matter if they got rid of the rules. He's still a special character.
I'm just joshing.
He's a name.
I know.
It's for everyone who doesn't know. For everyone who isn't aware, what happened was one day, back in third ed, it said, this guy's a special character and he can only be played if both sides agree on special characters. So when the Tyranid Codex came out, they didn't have that special character listed, and I was like, oh, it's so awesome, he's not a special character, and one dude's just like, dude, they just got rid of all special characters. And it's like, so that's where that whole joke came from.
Yeah.
But the thing is I have noticed when Artax are used, the most popular, because it's the most effective use, is Yuri and Eldrad.
Yeah, because they're great. But the thing with the Autarch is, he has good combat capability from Eldar. Very good. I thought he had a rule. Maybe I was wrong. I thought he had like a reserve rule or something. But
he had a initiative bonus for when they used strategy points for determining.
I thought the basic Autarch had like you could add +1 to your reserve roll or something.
I don't think so. I could be wrong. I have to check my codex. My codex.
I don't remember. I don't have mine with me here. But I thought he had one thing. But even still, having a beat sticky type of Eldar character outside of a special character like a Phoenix Lord doesn't really work for Eldar.
Yeah.
Because they don't need a big scary Abzan-esque dude. They need the support really. And the Autarch is really cool. Gives you a really cool capability to make somebody that can be really effective to help you and support. But I think the lack of Tit makes it like, I don't wanna.
One thing that I just found, just thought of, which is interesting, is as you noticed, there seems to be a heavy emphasis on the Autarch right now. Is that because GW has no intention of doing anything new with the psychic force of the Eldar?
I doubt that. I mean,
maybe.
they're probably trying to do is
think of it like, possibly, it may be something where they're like, well, the Far Spheres aren't really going to be doing much except for, the standard psychic powered list, so let's beef up the Autarch so much that no one really notices that the Far Spheres didn't really get much.
The thing is they have to enhance the things that are not effective of the book, so they have to find a reason for you to take the Autarch, because again, there's not a huge reason to take them right now. They're okay.
I wouldn't say he's not effective. I just they gotta give him an additional incentive. He's no Ethereal. Let's be honest. He is he's effective right now. The Ethereal wasn't. But
that's true. The Ethereal was just my favorite thing with the Ethereal is when people would suicide them on purpose.
Yeah, which is like a big gamble because if you fail, everything runs off.
Yeah, it's true.
Yep.
But the Ethereal didn't work right. You're right.
The Autarch, I think, he works fine as is right now. Really, it's just there's no real incentive to take him over Farseer. Now, the interesting thing that the vet brought up was maybe they won't do anything different. And I'm thinking if they keep Eldar psychic powers, and I say if because the Dark Angels don't have their own.
Yeah. Well, it kind of makes sense for them.
Yeah,
because they're using the mandated psychic powers.
Yeah, but there are the Blood Angels have their own. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just saying if they keep the Eldar current psychic powers, then they're just going to update them and make them work not better. I don't say work better. Make them 6th ed. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the area that they have now might still be there. It might be the same exact powers, just altered. Plus,
one thing I can say is that Doom is probably going away because Doom pretty much exists already in the new Codex, in the new 6th edition. They basically made a new variant of Doom already.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll change Doom.
So Doom needs to be changed because right now all Doom does is re-roll to wound, and there is a psychic power I think in the not the telepathy
divination.
The divination, it allows you to re-roll to wound. It's pretty much the Doom special for the Doom.
Divination is pretty much the you're Eldar, you should be using this.
Yeah.
Yeah. But maybe Doom will will be enhanced differently. One thing I think they should do to make it just be better is Eldritch Storm. Eldritch Storm is so cool in concept. It works very well against infantry, but it doesn't do jack really, even with that, because it just feels a little bit too weak, in my opinion.
Okay, the original Eldritch Storm was ridiculous, and it's ironic that you say that because every time I try to use Eldritch Storm against troopers, I do nothing, but when I throw it against the vehicle, I rip it apart.
Which is weird, because when you look at it, and when I've seen it used, I've seen other players just, there's an Orc Horde, dead, Eldritch Storm. But, like, the vehicle, oh no, type of thing. And,
the best
I
thing
think
to get...
Eldritch Storm needs to beef up.
Yeah, it does. That needs to be, like, their number, like, if they do throw, like, the number system, it has to be the number 6 power, and it has to be ridiculous.
Or it can just be, like, call it Eldritch Blast and give it 2 shooting options. One's a big blast, and one's, like, a direct ray, so you have a tank-killing direct thing, or a blast in particular.
Eldritch Storm. It's a storm.
Yeah, I know, but, like, you can simplify it. Though I do want Eldritch Storm, because every time I hear the name, I think of StarCraft, and it makes me happy.
Yeah, but Eldritch Storm, it's just, that's their nuke. Like, every psychic ability that's on, like, when you look at a Psyker, or this Blood Angel, or even just a basic divination, Bondage, whatever, each one has the nuke spell in it, of some type. Even if it's not damage dealing, it's like their nuke spell. And Eldritch Storm, Blast, whatever it is their nuke, and their nuke is kind of womp womp.
It's like, I mean, when you see it happen it's like, for anyone who plays Dawn of War Last Stand, then goes into the game itself, goes, I'm going to do Eldritch Storm! Wow, this isn't as good as it is in the game.
That's true.
Yeah. I mean, Eldritch Storm...
Because in the game, it's ridiculous.
And it's got the name, Storm, and then the other word, Eldritch. It's supposed to be this ridiculous, energy psychic attack. It's supposed to be Eldar going, enough of this subtleties, it's time to be blunt. And if Eldar's saying it's time to be blunt, it should be this amazing nuke that goes off.
And though I could also foresee the Eldar having a special like in Death Watch, where they could buff up their ability even higher, but have an even greater chance of getting attacked by Slaanesh demons in the warp. Yeah. Just because they want to screw over the Eldar, especially if Kelly is doing the Codex.
They should definitely still keep their anti-perils that they have.
Yes.
Their mastery. Like, that should still be emphasized in their Codex, because, hey, we've been born with this ability for thousands upon thousands of years.
That's the one thing. If they don't have some sort of special Deny the Witch or some special thing against Perils of the Warp, I'll be like, what the heck? These people are their babies are the equivalent of Imperium librarians. They should be better than that.
Overall, there'll probably be like some kind of general special rule saying that they all have a psychic defense or something for the Eldar.
They probably should have a special Deny the Witch.
Yeah.
Which
would be cool.
Which I'll be happy with them just getting a special, like a 5-up Deny the Witch instead of a 6-up. I'll be happy with that.
Oh, you mean taking my sister's rules that we don't have anymore? Thanks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it works for them.
Sisters have plenty of...
I know, we all have an invuln save now.
Dude,
the invuln save
Stark-Lord, despite every bad thing that the Sisters Codex has gotten, you cannot deny the fact that I have not been able to beat you since they got a new Codex in the White
honestly,
War.
They didn't really get anything that bad. They got a little better, but no one plays because no one has access to the rules.
They got pretty good. Not just a little better. Their special character is ridiculously cheap, point-wise.
St. Celestine is a house. She's way too cheap, and then her backup, Jacobus, the special characters in that book are ridiculous. Sisters are good. I just don't have time to play, but I just like complaining because I don't have an actual codex. But the digital one that I have, which is not official because they do not have a way to get the codex or the current rules any other way than stealing them right now, unless you bought them 3 years ago, are pretty good.
Which is a big upping of the ball, especially because with the Blood Angels one, when they did the errata FAQ update, they made it part of the errata FAQ. It was a codex PDF with the errata attached to the back of it.
Yeah,
I don't know. For the life of me, I don't know why they didn't do that with the system.
Yeah, and I do own the White Dwarfs that have it in them, which were really hard to get the second one, by the way. But I purposely downloaded it because it's like, you cannot get this if you're anyone else. So I have a downloaded copy, and if anyone ever wants the rules, I'll print them out for them because you can't buy it. So therefore, I don't care.
Yeah. One thing that I want to talk about really quickly. something that I noticed on the Bell of Lost Souls forum, and I just want your guys' opinion. What do you think should happen in the revamp of Apocalypse?
Well, they should get rid of the dumb lines on the side of his face.
Yes, they should. But we're talking about
you're no longer my friend.
We're talking about the rulebook.
I love Marvel Comics. I apologize.
All right.
One thing...
They need to streamline the super heavy damage table. They got to make it a legitimate table that's not like use this, then do this, then flip a coin and look at the moon. No, you gotta actually have a legitimate table now for them, like a revamp table. Yeah.
Especially with the fact that what Forge World did was Forge World went, if you roll this, then just do this instead. It's like, well, what if they have a rule for what happens if you roll an explosion on the chart, but they don't have a rule for what happens if you roll a wreck.
Yeah,
it's like, wait, so what if I do if I roll a 5? You told me what I do if I roll a 1, a 2, a 3, or a 4, and a 6, but you never told me what to do with a 5.
They need to revamp that. Well, the one thing I hope they do is, sorry, this might sound a little crazy, but a Apocalypse Warlord table.
Yes.
I think that's
have
something
an
they should add.
additional Warlord too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Just be a little bit over the top, because it's it's Apocalypse. Make something crazy. You're not just having like a force commander here. You're having someone commanding like a planetary assault. They should have something a little bit crazy.
The super heavies need a very concise table. Maybe
they need to be
but give them something that's easy and written out, and that's it for all super heavy regards with the flyers, walkers, or vehicles. Yeah. And they need they need to take all of their Apocalypse data sheets and look them over and really give them a scrubbing and redo them, because there's some now that is kind of like, well, this is based on the old Tau Codex, or this is based on the old KS Codex, and this one has got rules that don't even exist in the Codex anymore, or this one doesn't make any sense in 6th edition. Like, they got to really revamp all the data.
That's true. They need to revamp the data sheets, and they need to crap, I forgot. They should look at their deployment stuff just to tweak that, but overall they don't have to do too many. They don't have to really add anything too new. They just have to update everything for 6th.
One thing that I'm curious, because I noticed that Bell's brought this up, is they think that, and do you agree, that they should change up the D weapons and make them less overpowered?
No, they're D weapons for a reason.
You're supposed to be overpowered.
I noticed on the forums, a lot of people going, they gotta change the D weapon system because it's not fair to have half your army get reduced in the first round, and they gotta limit the super heavies.
It's Apocalypse. It's supposed to be over the top. If you're fielding just 300 Imperial Guardsmen in an Apocalypse game, that looks cool, but they're all gonna die in 2 turns because you should know better.
You're gonna lose. You're gonna lose if you just field. If you're not fielding some type of data sheet or super destructive weapon of doom, and you're just feeling low, even feeling nothing but Space Marine tactical squads, you're gonna lose because you're not gonna have anything special. In fact, I think D weapon is too nice. The fact that your 5-up invulnerable save on your commander for the Imperial Guard can withstand a D weapon to the face is ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, I never intend to field a Titan, but I always intend to find ways to deal with Titans, because people are going to bring really big things, because Apocalypse is supposed to be about planetary destruction. You're pulling DBZ, okay? You're blowing up this planet by the end of this game. Whole units should be dying in 1 turn. It's okay.
I always agree, like, when I see these forums, I'm like, well, then you're missing the point of Apocalypse. The point of Apocalypse is this stuff, and also, if you think about it, it kind of benefits you if the other guy has all these D weapons, because if he did wipe out half your army in turn 1, then that's less models you have to move in turn 2.
Exactly. But, like, think about it. The thing with String B saying invulnerable saves are allowed, I can see and I can't see at the same time. If I've got my little invulnerable charm around my neck because I'm an Imperial Guard commander of great renown, that should not be able to absorb the blast of a Titan's D weapon.
Exactly. A refractive field built into my Gorget should not stop a nuclear blast.
Exactly.
I think they did that just sheerly because they want to be able the commander to survive longer than 1 round, and I'm okay with the invulnerable save surviving the explosion.
I get it. I understand why they did it. I just think they should be almost like if you have a vulnerable save that's worse than 4, you can't take it.
Okay, that I can understand.
Or invulnerable save has to be re-rolled. Like, you get it, but you have to roll it twice.
Just because especially if a Titan goes, hey, here's my strength D weapon, to the face. You definitely gotta be like, all right, my little charm in my necklace is gonna really be taxed because I just took a point blank D weapon to the face.
On a side note, now that you just said it like that, I am now envisioning like a Warlord Titan with like a beer helmet on it. I think someone needs to make that. Just the Bro Titan. Anyone want to do that? Anyone in our?
Oh, it'll have a bro fist.
Yes, it have the Titan-sized power fist for the bro fisting, and some kind of assault cannon to shoot kegs at people.
So you gotta have two Warhound Titans. Two Warlord Titans, each with a power fist, but they're positioned so when they're standing next to each other, they're tapping.
Yes, I think this needs to happen. I can't do it, but someone in the universe out there that's listening to this, you need to do it. Know who you are. You've been entrusted with this task.
This is two things that I would like to see in the Apocalypse revamp. Is one, yes, a distinctive, this is your weapon table. I think they should do one separately, one for tanks and warwalkers, and one for flyers, because I think flyers should have a slightly different one just to compensate for the fact that they're flyers.
Well, yeah, but I can see that, too. I can see that, but also at the same time, you have to think they have the advantage of being a flyer, that when they go down, they should just go down. But it would be very disheartening to have a Thunderhawk just go down because, well, you destroy my weapon, my engine, and I'm flying, so I crash.
Well, that's why I think they should have their own special one, just, so they kind of don't get screwed over, and make it less confusing.
They had a proper modification for that, if I recall, for super heavy flyers. It's like, drivetrain just means you move slower or something, or you have to go in a straight line. I forget what it was, but it made sense.
But I personally, this is just me. I think if the streamlining is one thing that they really want to do, I think they should do that just to make life easier, because some of the rules can be a little confusing as to what they do. Like, a good example is the flyers. It took me forever to realize that a flyer, no matter what, doesn't just crash when immobilized. It just is stuck in movement mode.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know the way they word it, they made it word like zoom is a special movement, not a regular movement. So I'm like, so what happens when they're not zooming?
They're always zooming.
Exactly.
They zoom.
But
they can't go slow.
But the other thing is, I think they should release an Apocalypse psychic power list.
That'd be cool.
Because it's like, okay,
nice. Or at least there's data sheets for certain things. You know what I mean?
Well, it's like, because just to represent that, okay, there's a mass amount of army here. We're going to need more than my little psychic power that makes one unit do something.
Well,
my Eldar Storm is useless now.
A data sheet for like a Eldar. What's it called? Their psychic called again? Popped on my head. Farseer Conclave. Like you have that Warlock Conclave.
Well, they had a data sheet like that for Thousand Suns.
Yeah.
Yep.
That'd be cool.
But I think they should do that like, an upgraded version of Eldritch Storm where it's the blast template, the super template to represent that he's calling down a huge storm type of thing.
Well, yeah, maybe there should be, instead of having just a list that they can take, make it a data sheet to represent like a channeling of all the psychic energy, just to make it more like you have to take this to do this, but you will get an awesome ability. But yeah. I think they should also have Apocalypse-specific psychic rules. In all honesty, if we're fighting over this entire planet and we got whole divisions and whole Space Marine chapters potentially and everything fighting, I think they should really be less strict with perils. I think it should be more cinematic of like, I can blast things out of the sky with my psychic abilities because I'm fighting against the world here. I don't know if Peril's dead. I think they should really relax psychic rules in general for Apocalypse. Because, it's kind of like...
to represent... It could kind of represent, like, there's so much psychic energy going off at one time, the demons in the warp don't know who to attack first.
Or even just represent the raw, like, chaos, not chaos of the faction, but the chaos of war. There's so much energy, there's so much going on that it's very easy to tap into it, to use it, because it's just so visceral.
I think what it has to come down to, overall, when they put out the new Apocalypse, the key things that has to be remembered is that Apocalypse isn't supposed to be really well balanced. It's supposed to be cinematic.
And fair. It's not supposed to be
fun.
fair.
It's supposed to be over the top. You're not playing this at a tournament, you're playing this at an event, you know?
Oh, yeah, exactly, which is why I think Psychic should be lenient.
Exactly, like, I'm agreeing with him. Saying, like, overall, it should be just fun and over the top, and yes, 100 dudes dying at a time is fine. Like, I know the next time, if we ever get to do an Apocalypse event and I bring, like, a horde of guys, I remember the last time we did one, I'm like, all my dudes are gonna die, and I'm okay with that. That's the whole point of playing
When were you
guard.
in an Apocalypse match?
Well, we did that half one.
When?
With your Titan. Like, I know it's not just
Oh.
Apocalypse, but it's like, I'm just bringing a horde of dudes, and I know they're all gonna die, but that's the point. It wouldn't play guard if I wasn't okay with all my guys dying in one turn.
Well, that's the point of guard. I'm sorry. They're supposed to die, and then you're supposed to cram the enemy's guns full of your dead bodies so they can't shoot anymore.
Yeah, it's just how you still kill bots.
If you play Dawn of War Winter Assault, the whole line is, we're here to die well.
Yep.
Yeah. Die with purpose.
And the one thing I think that Apocalypse needs to do and build on is have bastions and then Apocalypse level bastions with their own, like, you know, because taking the, let's say, Fortress of Redemption is cool until the 1D weapon hits it, and then it's gone.
Yeah.
But, like, there needs to be like special, almost like super heavy, if you will, Apocalypse bastions you can take and represent the wall city of
like,
imperviousness.
Full-on fortresses and rules for them. That'd be a good idea.
Because most often that's what you're assaulting. So, I mean, or defending. So have rules for actual Apocalypse bastions and things that won't die to one Titan hit. It's like, you know, because high cities are so shielded and have such thick walls that it takes a while to breach them. So there should be some type of ruling just for, because especially since factions are in the 6th edition now, there should be something special for them in Apocalypse.
Yeah. Yeah, I can agree with that.
So if they do that, and they have to streamline the super heavy table, because right now it's just all who is like, what do you think? I don't know, maybe this works. Okay, let's go with that. Type of thing is how it is right now. And then Psychers should be more grand and have a lot more leniency in terms of parallel.
Allowed to cut loose.
Yeah, because it's basically when it's time to cut loose is when, hey, we're assaulting the planet. What part of it? All of it? Oh, okay. So let me put on my tap dancing shoes, and we're gonna cut loose.
Alrighty. I think we're running out of time right now, so I think this is a good place to wrap it up.
Oh, sad.
Yes, and real quick, I was looking at the Tau Codex, and they can't take any type of transport, but they're not, the stealth suits, the way the rules are, I think can go into Doubleface now.
I think they count as bulky, so...
They're not in their rules as bulky, I don't think.
I have to check what it says in the core book about jetpack infantry, and I'm pretty sure it does say bulky in there somewhere for them. I don't know, I just put the codex
in I don't know.
But I think you might be right, and I haven't checked it too, because I know it's the same thing, but I didn't actually check the rules, but I think they can hop into Devilfish.
Yeah, I don't have the name of it, but the Crisis suits say one of the special rules is very bulky, and the stealth suits don't have that. So I'm curious if they can go into a you can't take one, or why would you put them in a transport? But it's kind of funny. Like, hey, can I get a ride? Yeah, sure, why not?
And so now, with that, Fearless Gamers, we're going to leave you with this one. For all you Eldar players, what are you hoping to see out of the next Eldar Codex? And for all you 40k fans, what are you looking to see in the new Apocalypse rules? What would you like to see happen?
Yeah, that's a good question. I also have one other question for them.
Okay.
What games are they playing right now besides 40k? Because I want to know what people are playing, and so we can talk about those too.
Yeah, and just to put I don't play Warhammer Hordes, but how many people are looking forward to the new faction? Me personally, not much, but the new faction does look kind of cool. I'm curious to see, because, you know, it's a whole new faction. Any Warhammer Hordes players out there, are you going to pick it up, or are you going to just figure out how to beat it?
Wait it out.
As a personal statement on that, I think I mentioned it before, I'm actually going to get into War Machine because of that faction. Personally.
Aesthetically, this don't do it for me personally. That's just me.
They're steampunk Borg. I mean, come on.
I understand the concept.
And on that note, we shall get going. So, lead us out, Stark Lord.
Oh, I have to get us out of here?
You started it.
We gotta get out of here. This is backcountry. Till next time, I'm the Stark Lord.
James the Wildcard.
And Matt the Vet.
And we are Fearless Games. See you next week.
Peace.